Greetings and hello. This is Squancho, the monkey boy, here to read from Sir Ballsfart and the Forest of Penises by my lord and best friend, Sir Ballsfart. I shall begin by reading the back of the book. Imagine, if you will, a forest, but not like a regular forest. No, imagine a forest comprised entirely of giant penises. And so begins the greatest story ever told. There are few tales in existence that so deeply captivate the collective imagination that one might responsibly designate such a work a masterpiece. Even rarer are those yarns that so utterly redefine literature that they inevitably alter the very course of the human species itself. Countless authors have attempted to succeed in such a monumental task, but all have completely failed, except for one. Within your hands, you hold the greatest masterwork in existence. A thing of such pure and unfiltered perfection that to simply stand within its presence is both a privilege and a soul-crushing burden. Between these covers, you shall find the answers to every question that you have ever pondered and more. Sir Ballsfart and the... It's an interesting creative choice to misspell his own name in the title of his own book on the back of the book. Sir Ballsfart and the Forest of Penises is more than just a book. It is a way of life, a way forward, and a way for Sir Ballsfart to pay off the crippling student loan debt that he owes from his brief stint at Wizard College. It then says, "You're welcome," signed Sir Ballsfart. All right, so as we open the book, we see that it says, Sir Ballsfart presents Sir Ballsfart and the Forest of Penises, written, edited, and personally experienced by Sir Ballsfart. We then see that it is dedicated to someone named not Kevin. All right, and so begins Chapter 1, A Forest of Literal Penises. Imagine, if you will, a forest. But not like a regular forest. No. Imagine a forest comprised entirely of giant penises. There you go. You're doing it. You're using your imagination. Don't worry if it doesn't come easily. Just take your time. Close your eyes if you need to. I won't judge. Just try to envision this. There are no trees. There are only giant erect penises. There are no shrubs. There are only mounds of pubic hair protruding around the base of those giant erect penises. And there are hardly any rocks, but there are definitely giant hairy ball sacks all over the fucking place, each one peaking just above the soil, resting softly and peacefully in the warm and tranquil sunlight. Do you see it now? Do you understand? When they told me about the Forest of Penises, this is how they described it to me. They told me about the dicks. And they also told me that this forest was endless, just like a never-ending forest comprised almost entirely of towering tallywhackers, wind-blown wangs, and chubby, nubby little dongas. And yet, when I first heard of this place, for some reason, I did not believe it. Holy shit, was I wrong. Crudely I hacked with my freshly sharpened blade, slicing down lesser schlongs left and right, cleaving slowly through the dense bramble of cock that makes up the western foothills of that damned forest of very literal penises. It's a terrible idea, Princess Tits had told me, and she told me this while pouting her lips and squeezing her tits together with her arms. Those tits. I remember that they were still drenched in lube and always made those cute little squeaking sounds when she pressed them together. You have already slain the dreaded dryads of Shit Falls. Squeak, squeak. You have already beheaded the giggling gorgons of Labia Cave. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Your badassery is proven, my love. You need not undertake this horrendous endeavour. But I was foolish then, and I was arrogant. And I thought, too, that maybe I could also land myself a second, perhaps even hotter princess along the way. You know, maybe one with somehow even bigger and even squeakier titties. But again, holy shit, was I incredibly fucking wrong. The first thing that one realizes upon entering the forest of penises, and I cannot stress this enough, is that it is not a figurative title. Surely, I thought, despite all the rumours, that name's not literally implying an actual forest comprised almost entirely of very real giant penises. Obviously, I do live within a magical fantasy realm where fucked up shit hides behind every possible corner, but I mean, come on, man. There have to be limits. That's just fucking ridiculous. But nope. I was way off. Dicks fucking everywhere. And not just humanoid dicks either. Oh no. If only. No, there were also dog dicks. And horse dicks. Skinny dicks. Fat dicks. Corkscrew duck dicks. Freaky little pronged dicks. Things that don't even really look like dicks until you turn your head to the side and squint, and then you're like, oh yeah, I guess that is a dick, isn't it? Dicks. Everywhere. I continued slashing as I pressed forward, gradually making my way through the bundles of thin erect peters that impeded my progress. So far, the dicks that grew from the forest floor at this altitude were rather lean and very pale, with coarse, fuzzy bases. I'm not sure if that's relevant. In fact, I'm almost positive that it's not. But imagine these outer rim dicks as being sort of like a rubbery bamboo. Carving a path through such peters was slow and bloody work, but still manageable with a good blade. And for the first few hours, I just continued tearing mindlessly through long, stinky peckers until suddenly, while felling a particularly greasy one, my ears captured a most surprising sound upon the breeze. I paused in place, allowing my senses to sharpen. "Yoo-hoo!" rang out a distinctive voice. Why, it sounded like a woman, like a sexy young woman, with a sexy young accent. Noise. But as was often the case, this current situation would ultimately prove to not be very nice. I sheathed my blade, and then pushed aside the rock-hard trunks of cock that stood before me, allowing full view of the sight up ahead. Ahead is two separate words here. Damn it! My optimism was dashed quicker than a baby on a concrete slab. The voice had been that of a mermaid, and she was not alone. There were 5 of them in total. 5 sexy, young, multiracial, magical, and completely dickish mermaids. They were each just chilling there on a collection of small boulders in a riverbed right beside a big roaring waterfall. Fuck my nuts. I would have to try to sneak by. Yoo-hoo! Cock chopper! We can see you there. We see you chopping all those cocks. The mermaids giggled in unison. Why not pay us a visit, if you wish, brave chopper? Fucking shit. All right, real quick. Let me give you a brief refresher on mermaids, because they're probably not what you think. Firstly, most people that have never met a mermaid tend to assume that they're just crazy beautiful. And I guess that as far as the human half of their bodies go, they usually are, though there are a few fatties in the mix. But if you're like me, then you're a slave to that thickness. But that's not the point here, and I'm already getting off track. What I'm trying to say is that despite being sufficiently fuckable from the waist up, mermaids have huge, disgusting teeth. On their top jaw, they've got sharp, serrated fangs, and on the bottom jaw are these big, freaky, tusk-looking things poking out from their bottom lips. Also, they have creepy black eyes, webbed hands, webbed armpits, and webbed ears, and also have really weird hairlines, though none of those, admittedly, are nearly so distracting as the teeth. Now again, if you're like myself, you've gotten down with some fucked up types, and tusks and a fish pussy aren't exactly deal breakers. But unfortunately, regardless of their appearance, you just need to understand that mermaids simply are not good people. Seriously, mermaids are 100% dicks. No, not literal dicks, but figurative dicks. Basically, to make an even longer story short, about 10,000 years ago, there was this thing called the War of Dry Pussy. And during that war, the mermaids sided with the hyena people and a couple other highly dickish species against pretty much everyone else, including the elves, dwarves, and humans. The war was a shit show, and millions perished in the ensuing destruction. There was, at that time, lots of raping and pillaging, but also some less cool stuff as well. And ultimately, the crimes racked up by the merfolk were so outrageously heinous that no species ever forgot just what complete and utter dicks they were from that time forward. So nowadays, it's just like a cultural thing. I don't mean to make assumptions, you know, but mermaids really just are, more often than not, total dicks. It's true. It's like their thing. And I guess that even their dickishness wouldn't be so shitty, except that you can't throw it back in their faces due to the fact that they're also crazy magical on account of them being mermaids and all. Anywho, I think that you understand my situation now. Can we please continue? Hi, I shouted through the schlongs, feigning confidence as I gradually worked my way circuitously around the waterfall and its bending stream. Yes, hello. Hi, it is I, your trusty chopper of cocks, castrating at your service, my ladies. And who might these beautiful creatures beside this beautiful waterfall be? The mermaids laughed, but not in any sort of friendly way. No, they laughed in a completely dickish way. You know what I mean. It was a sort of sarcastic and pretentious laugh, like how dicks would laugh. Figurative dicks. We are exactly as you say, Dong Slicer, proclaimed the one in front. We are beautiful creatures resting beside this beautiful waterfall, simply enjoying the midday sun as it creeps between the packers. But please, little man, won't you tell us, which of us would you say is more beautiful? We sexy mermaids, or this roaring waterfall standing majestic in the forest? The mer-slut smiled a wide grin that emphasized her tusky lower canines. Oh yeah, this one was clearly the leader. Shit. All right, time out again. See, now this is another major problem. And there's no easy way of getting out of this one because these bitches got me in a real catch-22. Hear me out. So if I say that the waterfall's more beautiful than they are, then these merskanks are going to gang up on me and murder my squishy ass in a matter of seconds because they are most likely shallow as fuck. But alternatively, If I say that the mermaids are more beautiful than the waterfall, then they'll claim that I am, quote, disrespecting a waterfall, a major faux pas in mermaid culture, and will therefore also murder me. See what I mean? Catch 22. I get eaten by tusked seahorse and am summarily shit out their fishy cloacas in either scenario. Fucking turds. It's just like I told you. These mer sluts are seriously just a pack of truly outrageous dicks. But damn it, I was still too close to run. Mermaids may not be quick on land, but they're insanely strong, and most of them can create magical force fields to lock you in place. So what could I do about it? I took a deep breath and continued slashing bonus. Equal, I shouted back, perhaps somewhat awkwardly. Pardon me, the head mermaid perked up her freaky webbed ears. I don't think we got that, cock chopper. Equal, I shouted again. And yeah, I know, it wasn't a great plan, but it was honestly all I could come up with on the fly. Like, as in, you and the waterfall are equally beautiful? They didn't seem to be buying it, so I laid it on thick. What I'm saying is that you have maxed out my possible comprehension of beauty with your tiggle fishy bitties and scaly fine asses. And also, at the very same time, so has that waterfall. Because, you know, it's a waterfall. So yes, therefore, both of you are like infinity beautiful to me. So that is my answer. Equal. Thank you. The mermaids looked at one another, deeply confused. I swear that I'm usually much better at bullshitting, but at least this would buy me some time. I immediately continued hacking through skin flutes. Infinity beautiful? The leader asked while staring me down incredulously. How very queer, cockchopper. But still, you honestly wouldn't say that at least one of us is even an eensy-weensy little bit more beautiful than the other? Her piercing magical eyes began to penetrate my soul, and I was nearly out of range. Not even with these ginormous, gnarly tits? And at that, the mermaid flipped up her seashells and presented them titties, which were absolutely as gnarly as she had literally just described them. Quickly then, the other 4 sluts followed suit. Holy fuck, you guys. This was like a catch-44 or something at this point. I struggled to ignore them, returning to my hasty chopping, but the magic was beginning to take its toll. I could feel myself being held back by something like an invisible barrier. I fought to push through it, but I also had to respond to them, and again, there was just no easy way to get around this. If I admitted that them titties were indeed gnarly, then I would once again risk being murdered and devoured for my flagrant disrespect of waterfalls, effectively the mermaid equivalent of shitting in someone's eye. But if I did not acknowledge the truly objective gnarliness of them gorgeous sweet knockers, then that whole clique of mer-cunts would definitely come to murder me. Or worse, they would think I was gay, and then they would tell everybody that I was gay, and then everyone would think that I was gay. I'm sorry, but I just can't have that in my life right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Catch 22 times a million. This is why I fucking hate mermaids. Now come on, I started, building up my courage. That's just not fair. Excuse me, asked the leader through her conniving grin. Even at this distance, I could see her long forked tongue massaging her serrated incisors. I said that it's just not fair. I mean, can you show me the waterfall's tits? I was almost on the other side of them now. I was almost at a safe distance, and I could tell that they were getting antsy. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Fag boy? I winced. I hated being called fag boy. My stepdad used to call me that. And sure, I had a gay phase, but everyone does if they're being honest, and that's far behind me now. The waterfall, I said. The waterfall has no tits of its own. Therefore, the waterfall's non-existent tits cannot compare to the objective gnarliness of your own fat, tasty jugs. And so, to declare a competition with something that is incapable of competing, well, that is simply unfair. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say that it were completely disrespectful. What? I could hear the panic in the head mermaid's voice as I got out of range. And soon, even at that distance, I could hear her shrill and tortured screams while the others ripped her to pieces, viciously devouring her firm yet supple fishy flesh for her blasphemy. Yes, it was a truly savage display of petty bullshit, but that is the mer people way. Oh well, serves the bitch right for endangering my life, and also for just being such an incredible dick. Still though, I gotta admit, she did have one gnarly set of tiggle fishy bitties. Steadily now, I ventured onward, slicing and dicing dinglings like a one-man dick-slicing machine. The hours pressed on, but the sun remained high in the sky, beating down upon me as I raced to cleave those endless knobs. The work was starting to become a real bitch, though, seeing as I were wearing a hot and heavy suit of steel-plated armor. And so it was while sweating and swinging my sword that I first noticed that there weren't too many animals in this here forest of penises. In fact, beyond the mermaids, I mostly only spotted supersized flies at the ground level and a whole mess of overweight birds darting across the sky, but nothing else. Where were all the regular forest creatures? Where were the squirrels? Or the frogs? Or the squirrel frogs? Even those birds overhead weren't normal birds. They seemed to have constant diarrhea and were always shitting huge gobs of feces onto pretty much every surface in sight. Sure, it was kind of cool at a distance, but as I got closer to their range, I no longer appreciated their regular bombings. Sometimes I was even forced to take cover under a big round dickhead and then block my eyes as their huge juicy shits splashed all around me. Again, this too impeded my progress. Finally, when I had grown tired of my slow and messy chopping, I decided to take my lunch break and sat down in the shade of a big, veiny, uncircumcised pecker to enjoy what little lunch Princess Tits had prepared for me. Today's main course would be spider sandwich. Now, before you complain, yes, I know, spider sandwich is probably not for everyone, but I had gotten really into it at this point in my life. Call me crazy if you must, but I have my reasons. And in case it's not obvious, a spider sandwich is just like a regular sandwich, except picture 3 or 4 big tarantulas crushed between the bread. Again, I know it sounds kind of weird, but there's a good story behind it. See, not very long ago, during one of my countless horrifying and scandalous adventures, I was dealing with a real band of turds called the Sodomaniac Spider People of the Eastern Wastes. Maybe you've heard of them. Anyway, my experience with them went about as well as you'd probably imagine, and though we definitely shared some dope times together, ultimately, it goes without saying that I just really fucking hate those spider people now. And so, to show my disdain, I like to eat their babies in sandwich form. And though I did not begin eating spider sandwiches for the flavor, it definitely grew on me, and I genuinely recommend it. Revenge is pretty gosh darn tasty, but yeah, like I said, that's a whole different Sir Ballsfart adventure from this one. Wait, shit, did I not tell you my name yet? I keep forgetting that I need to do that. You read the title of the book, right? Whatever, allow me to introduce myself. Greetings, it is I, Sir Ballsfart, destroyer of moistened pussy, but also saviour and ruler of moistened pussy. Yes, write that down. I am very much famous, mainly for my bravery, but also sometimes for other things. I am highly revered throughout all of the kingdoms and fiefdoms and chiefdoms of Pavana as a fearless warrior, and also for my huge dick. And also, again, for my somehow even more impressive sack of balls. Most famously, I have traversed the great rainbow that is made of turds, and I have double-teamed dinosaur women while blackout drunk. And I have even cured AIDS. Twice. Okay? Is that enough of an introduction? Should I have left out the thing about dinosaur group sex? It doesn't matter now. I feel like you get the picture. So, to catch you up to speed, in my last adventure, I saved Princess Tits for the 9th time, and everything seemed like it was finally a happy ending. But then, out of nowhere, this prick named Baron Rapefist stole a set of magical anal beads from my girlfriend's butthole. Yep, that bastard slurped them right out of her turd cutter. And as he did so, they made a sort of floop sound. I guess that part was kind of funny. Floop. But now, nothing's funny, because now I am on a very serious mission through this forest of penises, trudging most vengefully on a collision course with that piece of shit Baron, for he is said to reside in a great citadel at the far end of this stupid forest. And also, I heard too that he, jerks off a giant dragon or some shit. Who knows? Baron Rapefist is extremely mysterious, and his legends are all over the place. But for some reason, yeah, they usually involve him jerking off a dragon in a penis forest, so I'm guessing that part is probably true. You know what? Looking back, I probably should have explained all of this stuff at the top, but it's too late to go back now. Do you feel like you get what's going on? Whatever. I don't care anymore. Fuck it. We're moving on. It is said that revenge is a dish best served cold, but my spider sandwich was served even more undercooked than usual, which is to say that one of those spider people babies was still very much alive. But not for long, you little shit. Huzzah! What a juicy bite! No, it is not every day that you get to enjoy a full meal and also perform a 25th term abortion at the exact same time. Again, I know that this may not sound delicious to everyone at first, but I truly cannot recommend it enough. Fuck! I shouted, as I bit into the latter half of the sandwich, for at that exact moment, a big steaming glob of bird shit landed right on my head, dripped down my face, and squirted a little onto one of those big hairy spider baby legs that I had sticking out of my mouth. Gross. I think I tasted it. It tasted like bird shit. Fuck you, I shouted at the sky while shaking my fist. Those goddamn diarrhea birds were fucking everywhere, just shitting on all of those giant dicks. Well, laugh it up, you fucks. I set down my sandwich and reached for the coolest thing that I owned, my automated dwarven slingshot. I then loaded up a lead ball bearing into the side and cocked the pneumatic pump. Not today, you fucking bird. Not today. I pointed the device at the sky, but it was really hard to see my target through the burning bright light of the afternoon sun. I squinted my eyes tightly and began slowly pulling back on the trigger. Ahoy there, came a voice out of fucking nowhere. In my surprise, I launched the lead ball straight up into the air, completely missing those godforsaken birds. Shit on a dick! I turned to face the direction from whence came that stupid fucking voice. What the fuck is your problem? I shouted. Can't you see that I'm fucking busy? Oh, bloody turds. It was a goddamn leprechaun. Shit in my mouth. I didn't know that there were leprechauns out here. All right, pause again. Quick refresher on leprechauns. They're leprechauns. That's it. Just think of a leprechaun. They're greenish and they're probably like you're imagining, though definitely more annoying. Ahoy, hello, g'day, g'day. Hunting in the woody woods, would you say? Seriously? You fucking rhyme too? Of course, like all of me kind, 'tis the rule of me breed, to the rule we must bind. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy killing you. I pointed the automated slingshot at his stupid fat face. Okay, hi, sorry. The leprechaun put his hands up and made a nervous gulping sound. I'm trying to eat spider babies and shoot birds. Why the fuck are you ruining my life? The little shit dithered for an answer. You've got 2 seconds, Leppy. Leppy's like a cool term that we use for leprechauns where I come from because everybody hates them. I'm lonely. What? I cocked the pneumatic pump. Fuck you. Fuck off. No, I'm sorry. I need a friend. Hello. My name is Kevin. Well, I don't need friends, Kevin. And I'm also going to kill you. You annoy the shit out of me, and I will be far happier when you are dead. No, you don't understand. I'm just so alone. It's been so long since I've seen anyone out here. You have 2 seconds to get the fuck away from me before I add your dick to this forest. Did that threat make sense? Probably not, but it felt right at the time. I've been lost and alone for years in here, laddie. This forest, it's endless. Bullshit. We're only about 5 hours from the edge. Oh, if only, lad. If only. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? It means exactly how it sounds. You're in a magical forest. You ain't never leaving this place alive. No one does. Oh, fuck. I lowered the device. Are you kidding me? Shit on a cat. Not again. I swear this happens every other time. Always with the magical forests. Yes, I am sorry, but that's how these things go. It's okay, though, because we can escape now. We just need to stick together. What? What the fuck would that do? Together, we can overcome the magic. See, it's a mermaid spell, and I learned how to overcome it. All we have to do is... Kevin's stupid words were suddenly cut short, along with his stupid life. For at that very moment, my misfired lead ball bearing came crashing back down to the ground, falling right through Kevin's stupid, annoying leprechaun skull. I stared blankly as Kev's teal blood sprayed all over my face, my armor, and the nearby cocks. The leprechaun's body then crumbled to its knees before falling forward and landing face down upon the dirt. Wow. Holy shit. I laughed so hard, you guys. That was seriously maybe the funniest fucking thing that I've ever witnessed. I mean, it almost made missing those birds all worth it. We're talking teal blood literally everywhere. Bang. Ugh. His eyes crossed and his tongue flopped out and then whoop. Face down in the dirt. Holy shit. Sure, I guess you had to be there, but even now, I'm still cracking up just thinking about it. Man, what a day. So anyways, I then finished my sandwich and gathered up my things, slinging my automatic slingshot back around my shoulder and unsheathing my sword. As I set off, I turned to my side, noticed Kevin's corpse again, and had one more quick laugh for the road, just remembering how funny that was when he died. I then continued upon my merry way. Above me, the hot sun continued drifting across the sky amid a few distant floating islands. As I continued wang-hacking through the heat, I considered all the reasons that I had for murdering this rape fist guy. Firstly, there was the butt beads thing, but that was a given. Secondly, though no one knew anything about his origins, it was still the common consensus that he very much lived up to the title Rape Fist, which is to say that he raped a lot of people with his fist, and that's just not a very cool thing to do. Legend even had it that he used to spend centuries looking around for schools full of children, and then when he'd found one, he'd figure out some creative new way of crushing all the children inside. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, and that's coming from a guy that eats spider babies. But then, just to be even more fucked up, Rape Fist would take the soupy remains of those dead kids and sell it back to their own grieving parents as some sort of fake cure for sadness. Yeah, alright, I'll be honest, when I first heard that, I thought it was pretty funny. He was definitely a fucked up dude, but I appreciate a unique sense of humor. And at the end of the day, I guess I'd probably be pretty cool with the guy, all things considered, if he just hadn't stolen my woman's magic butt beads from her poop chute. But that's all it takes, you know. Floop, that's it. Now we are mortal enemies, and I'm slashing down giant penises for the opportunity to murder him. I'm sure you can relate. Luckily for me, the dense tangle of cocks was finally beginning to let up, and I could now more easily stroll betwixt the shafts. Soon, I started hearing the sound of moving water, and after passing a few more paces, I could see a stream forming in the distance. Toward this stream, I then proceeded with the utmost precaution, for terrible creatures have a tendency to gather in and around sources of water. As I approached, I started crouching, hiding cautiously behind a row of stubby tools. My eyes then searched left and then right, but I saw nothing coming for me. No monsters, only dicks. In the air, I could hear no sounds save the chirping of birds and the rushing of water. The coast seemed clear, both literally and figuratively. So then, starting at about 40 feet away from the river, I began crawling forward. But even by 30 feet, I could still neither see nor hear anything peculiar as the river's churning intensified. At 20 feet, I hid behind another wiener, this one big and veiny, and just girthy enough that I could conceal my chubby belly behind it. I then peeked around its edge, looking down into the river. Oh, bloody shits. There they were. More of those goddamn mermaids. Of fucking course. Those bastards were probably everywhere in the forest of penises, and it wouldn't even matter how shallow the river was either. If I tried fording a mermaid highway, I'd be picked off quicker than a ragdoll gerbil in a Tedrotian robot farm. Is that too deep of a reference for you guys? What I'm trying to say is that I would be attacked, and very quickly. And though I am a supreme badass on land, I'm no match for that kind of freshwater sea magic. I could probably take out one or two of them with my sword, sure, if it really came to it. I mean, come on, I'm Sir fucking Ballsfart. But any more, and that would be the end of me, as well as the end of my fucked up adventures. No, I scratched my scruffy chin. There had to be another way. And so ends Chapter 1 of Sir Ballsfart in the Forest of Penises, written by Sir Ballsfart. This has been Squancho the Monkey Boy. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and may you all have a wonderful day.